Welcome to Tijuana, the first stop in Mexico down the California peninsula. But for the deported U.S. veterans banished here, America might as well be 1,000 miles away. Hector Barajas, a former U.S. Army paratrooper, runs a support house here for deported veterans.
So basically every Sunday we go to Friendship Park where the U.S. wall goes into the ocean, separates the United States and Mexico, and we go to a binational service.
It's a place where we can come together and meet, and families can come together who have issues with immigration.
There is a Methodist pastor on the U.S. side and also on the American side, and we hold a service, communion, and basically our message there is that there is no borders. You know, we get to hear a little bit of hope.
There is nothing that man can put in the way of our love for each other.
No hay nada de hombre que pueda interponerse en el amor de Dios.
Hands with me.
Hi. Well, you had
You
your
want to shake hands?
full.
That's the only thing you do. We're shaking hands right there. We're holding hands to pray. Okay.
It's sad because people's families, you can't hug them. You can't hug your family. All you could do is just put your finger through the wall, you know, through the fence, and touch their fingers. You know?
Jaime Orozco and his brother Fernando both served in the United States Army in the 1980s, and now both are deported here to Mexico.
I got accused of a charge of domestic violence. I just wanted to get out of jail, and I accepted the charge because I thought I was going to get out that day. And they put immigration hold on me. I got deported.
Sometimes many of these veterans don't even know that they have a right to go for the judge. They just signed their deportation orders just to get out of jail so they could spend time with their family, and then are later picked up by ICE.
Does your family come to the wall often?
No, my family's too far. They live up in Stockton. I would like to hug them, especially my daughter. The grandkids.
Would men like Jaime still pose a threat if they were to return home?
They'll go back and they will be more patriotic, and I think they will be more dedicated to their families because they know what it's like not to be able to live with your family. Hector, for instance, his little girl, I see the pain in his face every time he talks about his little girl.
The most difficult part about being deported is having a family, having kids. You know, my daughter, she's 11 years old. She needs her dad. I need her. But, you know, what about our families that are back home suffering from not having you there? It's kind of like, I won't say it's another deployment, but most of us can relate to whether you deploy or you're going off to the field and you leave your family back home. And for us, it's a permanent bar because we're never allowed to go back.
But that's not completely true, because all of these men can return to the United States under one condition.
The only way some of us can return is in a box. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I'm going to be buried back in the United States in Arlington West. So they have space for me, and they're going to fold a nice American flag. It's going to be given to my family, and it's going to be presented to them on behalf of a grateful nation. I think there's no honor in that.
For now, they honor their brothers, both living and dead, with their names etched on this wall, inches from a country they once served, to remind people they are still here.
We turned this wall that was built out of fear and out of anger and out of hate into God's love.
Podemos tornar este muro que fue creado en temor, en enojo, en lazos de amor de Dios.